Hallo zusammen. Have you ever wondered what those German workers say in certain scenes of Better Call Saul, and specifically in episode 9 of season 4, Wiedersehen, see you again? Wonder no more. Today I, a German native speaker and big fan of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, El Camino and, you know, that whole universe basically, will react to that scene. And I'm gonna both translate and explain what they say, what may be interesting about that from a linguistic standpoint, and for instance also for language learners. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Before we're gonna tune into this specific scene of episode 9, oh, there it says actually, the German workers among Werner Ziegler, that is his German pronunciation by the way, Werner Ziegler, they are about to detonate a certain part, like certain rock formation, for a big laboratory to be built, basically. And Mike Ehrmantraut oversees that. He and the German workers, indirectly, are working for Gustavo Fring, whose last name, Fring, is also derived from a German former football player, Thorsten Frings, because one of the writers was a big fan of soccer, football, Fußball, but that's not all that is German related in Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. So if you want to find out more about those things, feel free to check out the video in the end card. But right now, let's tune in and let's click. Gut gemacht. Well done. And herzlichen Glückwunsch. Awesome, good job for der Glückwunsch. And herzlich. Jetzt wird gefeiert. Now we're gonna party. Now it's time to party. And then he said something. So macht man das. You know, full of das Selbstvertrauen, self-confidence. So macht man das. I can picture them, you know, like...
We have to include something that's typically German.
Strong and willful.
So wird das gemacht. Perfect choice. And now the beer scene. Endlich, finally.
Oh wait, we're missing one. We're missing one. I am a drink. No, I'm good, thank you.
Just pointing this out because some of you may not know that. When an American says, or like an English-speaking person for that matter says, "No, I'm good," the typical German person that may not be super proficient when it comes to speaking English and understanding everything may not actually get that. If you'd say something like, "No, I'm not interested," or "No, I had enough, thank you," Germans will understand that, of course. But if you say, "No, I'm good," which basically means the same, you know, "No, I don't want to," "No, I had enough already, no more beer," Germans may have a hard time understanding that. Watching this in German back, you know, a couple of years ago when it came out, I saw his lip movements and I was always wondering, okay, it looks really German to me. And then I actually rewatched the scene in English and I noticed that he actually says Gute Arbeit. And he does a pretty good job for die Arbeit, the work. And gut, good, or in this case, you know, the inflected form gute, gute Arbeit, die gute Arbeit. The good work. Someone said, echt. They responded to gute Arbeit, echt, for real. It's affirming, a really short fitting German term for doing that. By the way, what you're seeing here, those types of beer glasses that you may call Stein. In German, we would call them der Humpen, but we also have the term der Stein in German, which means stone. So we basically have the same term, but it has a completely different meaning. That's interesting. Maybe you know more about that? Feel free to tell me because I'd sure like to find out. Wiedersehen, which is also the English title for this episode, means see you again. Auf Wiedersehen is a completely common, daily used German phrase when you say goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Even though sometimes, and that's quite confusing, I guess, Germans also use that phrase in contexts in which they actually could know that they won't ever see that person again. It's like an automated thing in your mind. Auf Wiedersehen. See you again. And then realizing maybe, well, I won't see you again, but I just said it. Also, when you call someone, you know, you're in a phone call, and then you say at the end, Auf Wiedersehen, which is totally ridiculous. As long as you don't FaceTime or whatever, it's not a video call because you don't see the person, first and foremost, and you can't see them again because you haven't seen them in the first place in the context of the phone call.
Also, ich warte ja noch immer, ne?
Also, ich warte ja noch immer, ne? So, I'm still waiting, you know. Also, at the start, isn't to be confused with the English also. It carries a different meaning. Also, in this context, is more like a conversational particle, meaning well, at the start of a sentence, for instance. Well, also,
ich warte ja noch immer, ne?
The word order is slightly, well, it is common, but it's not too common. Or in comparison of, also ich warte ja immer noch. Immer noch, instead of noch immer. Immer noch, still, means the same, you know, pretty fixed. But you can also say it the other way around. And at the end of the sentence, also extremely typical for daily spoken German. Ne? The question particle, you could call it.
Also, ich warte ja noch immer, ne?
Which is also like an affirmative question at the end of sentences.
Also, ich warte ja noch immer, ne?
Also, ich warte ja noch immer, ne? Making sure that the other person, the recipient of what you said, is aware of what you said. I'm expecting that. Ne? You know. Remember that, please, right? Very short German term, but it's so common. One of the co-workers asks, auf was? Auf was? For what? What are you waiting for? Dass ihr euch vor mir in den Schlamm schmeißt. That you're gonna throw yourselves in the mud in front of me. For der Schlamm, the mud. Also, two more things. We also use the short form Mike for Michael. Michael. And they are wearing German soccer attire, which only shows 3 stars. And this, by the way, as the last term for this episode, is die Zapfanlage or die Bierzapfanlage for das Bier. Of course, the beer. Of course, I would have also loved to be part of this show as an extra, I guess you'd call it in English, der Statist. But yeah, they did a fabulous job. Ne? And once again, I also love the German hints here and there in Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and El Camino. And once again, if you want to find out more about them, click this. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked this, subscribe, like, and share it. That helps a lot. Thank you very much for doing so in advance, and definitely see you next time. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal. Gute Arbeit.